Hello, welcome to Cooking with Cornbread. I ain't been on in a while. I've done a little bit of videos. I've done some videos I just threw away. Been on this diet and I ain't been cooking nothing that's, hadn't had time. Been hitting the gym up and no more excuses. I ain't cooking nothing. I am cooking something today for myself. I'm batching today. I've got my kids here right now. Their grandmother's fixing to come. Gonna cook me up a T-bone steak with a new new to y'all, not new to me, cooking utensil. It's a camp cook system. It's called a BioLite. It's a twig burner. And you can burn bigger stuff in it. You cut it about that long, 4 inches or so. But you can get bigger, get your fire going, get bigger around stuff, so it's your fuel lasts longer. You fuel as you would. But it it heats up a probe that turns it into electricity. Cool, man. I got it for Father's Day, I believe. But today's video, see, there I go again. I'm good about that. I get off subject, but if you don't like it, still wear my Colts gear. Don't know how they're doing today. Today's Sunday Fun Day. They're 0-3, taking on Miami. Jacoby Brissett's starting for Miami, I believe. Haven't turned on the game. I will here after I do this video, but I noticed that one of my knives earlier, I was cutting open a package of bacon, and it can use some attention. So I figured I'd do a video about knife care. I haven't done that. I've been saying I'll do that. And in front of me, you can't see right now. I'll just flip you down right now. Boop. In front of me, I got, let's just get rid of that for right now. So I can put this here, and there we go. A few different sharpeners, and I'm only going to use one that's in this bowl actually right now. But stories behind all of them, I'll keep it to myself. I'll start off with sharpening stones. There's a stone and then there's a hone. A stone like this will actually remove materials. This ceramic ears does not remove materials, but it straightens your blade a whole lot. Like this is an old leather belt I used to use, that I use for a strop, and I'll show you here in a little bit how I do it. A strop is again, it's just straightening that you remove material with a certain grit, then you start polishing material, and then from there out it's polishing the edge and making that edge finer. When you remove material, you got these little bitty grooves in there on your edge that you can't really see. If you can see a chunk of your edge removed, you got to grind that out with a stone. I got your blanket loaded up, buddy. Okay, so you can have it for your neenies. Anyhow, got interrupted by my 3-year-old. She takes precedence over anything. Got a load of dishes back here I got to do. I just wanted to do this video first because I'm using this bowl. And the cutting board I'm not using. I got my old cutting board on top of my new one. So that just straightens the edge, and you don't use any pressure on that. You let the ceramic do the work. That's ceramic rabbit ears, and that's a diamond hone. That does not require any. It's got a hook groove in it. Let's see. Yeah, you can see that line right there. That's a hook grooves to sharpen hooks. A bald edge there to sharpen. And then these little circles you see catch the, this one, it needs to be cleaned really. I can run my finger across it and it gets black. That's all the knife material, metals that it collects. I'm not using that one. I just wanted to show different sharpenings. This is like my, a dude wants me to sharpen his knife at work, and I don't really care for him. I'll bring this, my in-between sharpener. I'll use that. If I don't feel like doing what I had to do today, which I'll show you here in a little bit, it's a process. Put that back down there. I'll use that. So this one, a buddy, Lee Ashcraft, gave me this. A good friend. He could see I could sharpen stones. He said somebody had given this to him and give it to me, and that's a good stone too. That's a wet stone. Not W-E-T, but W-H-E-T. That's what all the rest of these are that I'm using. And a whetstone, W-H-E-T, usually requires water, some requires oil. This one is a very coarse to fine, not as fine as this one. I'll talk about this one here in just a second. This is the coarse side, and this pocket knife right here I broke the tip on, and I used the coarse side to regrind the tip, and you can't even tell. Now if it gets, there's Madeline, it gets bad enough you just need to either buy you a new knife or get a grinder and reshape that tip. That's another good stone. I carried that in my travel bag, and that's how I sharpened knives. A lot of people on the job site ask me, because a lot of people don't know how to do it. I didn't know how to do it at one time. All right, we're on to the next stone. This is my great-grandfather's stone, and it's similar to that one, except it's not so coarse on this side. And this side, that's the smooth side. That'll really put an edge on one. The problem is, my great-grandfather, so I'm told, and you can tell with the shape of the stone. You can't really see it here, but I'm looking at it. It's thicker on this end and this end, and not in the middle. And so it's thinner in the middle. It's thinner over here. So what he would do would go in a circular motion like this. I don't really know what that's called. I know the other one's heel to toe. Now I'm going to have to sharpen that knife. I really didn't intend to, but I can get it later on. But that's my great-grandfather's stone. Got it from my uncle. And honestly, the coarse side is a little more wore than the smooth side. I keep that. This shirt that it came in, I'm sure it's my uncle's shirt. My great-grandfather, he got it from my papa. I've got another stone from my papa somewhere around here that he kept in his fishing kit, but I meant to get it out before I started the video. Oh well.
What are you doing about on your video?
Sharpening knives and knife care. So they can't see, I got it down. In the bowl, I have the blue side is 1,000 grit. And the white side's 4,000. This is what I'll use today, because I don't have to remove a lot of material. Technically, you're polishing when you get to the 1,000 and 4,000. But you got to let this set in water for 10 minutes or so. That really lets that stone get good and soaked. I don't have a towel. I just got my hands wet. Get a towel. The fall, y'all. That's a faded fall. What? Nope. Yep, that's a faded fall towel. You can't barely tell. I even thought it was inside out now. Anyhow, excuse my sniffing. I've got sinuses. No vid. So let's get down to knives. I've got two different knives. I've got a Damascus hand forged 10-inch chef knife. And this is my main knife. This is the one that needs sharpening too. That's high carbon steel, so you got to take a little better care of it. When you wash it, you want to dry it immediately, then set it aside, do all the rest of your dishes, then go back to your knife and wipe it down with a oily paper towel. I use specifically with this knife, I use cooking oil. I don't want to use gun oil on it. I've even used, talking to my buddy, I've even used bacon fat. If I know that I'm going to be a long period that I'm not using it, because bacon fat, it's a fat. It's doing the same thing. It's preventing the rust. But it kind of cakes up on there and holds better to the knife. I'll have to clean it after I'm done and oil it again. It's got oil on it right now, but that edge from where the stone will be wet will not have the oil. This is the one that's dull. This one's not so dull. This is a stainless steel 10-inch chef knife, and I wanted to note that part right there. I love, because that's blunt. I keep my fingers when I'm working. You've probably seen in the videos. I keep my fingers right here, or like that, cutting. But there's less chance that you're gonna get cut doing that. This one comes all the way to the heel. That's the method that I use most, is heel to toe. Stainless steel knife, it don't matter. You don't want to leave acids on there, like cut an orange or whatever and leave acids on there. It will tarnish it, but not so much. This one's got tarnished a few years ago, and I just now got it out just by washing. Nothing major. But this one's sharp. I like to keep my knife sharp. A sharp knife is the easier or safer knife. Put that to the side and go ahead and show my methods. I'm going to keep my water here close. I might put it aside though. I'm going with the grittier, the grainier 1000 grit. It's backwards from what you think. The higher the number, the less coarse it is. This is a coarser stone, and you can feel it. When your blade needs it, you can feel the resistance, and then when you're done, you stop to feel the resistance. So what I do is, that's laying flat, and you find your edge. Heel to toe. Always go in. Which way do you cut with a knife? You cut, right? You're never cutting like that. So never go don't go backwards. Go cut into the edge of the knife. I think that was 6. So whatever you use on the front side, do the opposite on the back. You mess around with it enough. See, that's already a whole lot better. But you mess around with it enough, you can tell by the sound that you're doing good. So we're going to go to the finer side of this stone. You can tell that's all metal right there. That dark. This is, you got to watch. This is a soft surface, so it'll actually, if you're not careful, you can dig into that and mess your edge up. But we're putting pressure down, heel to toe. And this is starting to polish that edge. Since I'm OCD, we did 6 there, so we'll do 6 this time. You can see I'll show you here in just a sec. That metal starting to build up on that edge. Watch. See that shiny part? That's all metal. It's material that you remove from your knife. So what I do, wipe it dry, and preferably with a drier finger, carefully feel that edge. This one needs to go a little bit more. I kept my water for a reason. This is starting to get a little pasty. That's fine. Keep it even because it'll roll that edge to one side or the other. There we go. There we go. Dry that edge off, clean it off. So this stone is starting to get dry. It doesn't do so bad on the coarse side because that's got more pores, so it's going to stay a little bit more moist. This one dries out. So what I'll do if I'm having a hard time, I'll put that bad boy back in my water just like I did. That's a good practice too. I just put it in there and I'm not going to show you, but I can see all that metal debris coming off of my stone. So it kind of cleans it. Like I said that earlier, that diamond stone, I'll take these to that diamond stone. You just got to be, it's small, so you got to be, you got to do it in sections. No big deal. Let's get rid of that. On to a strop. Now they make polishing compounds. I don't use it. And most of the time, I want to make a board for this. This is just an old leather belt of mine that I quit using. Most of the time I'll step on where the buckle used to go, hold it up at an angle right like that, and then take the knife up it. Never go across it like we just did. Don't go into it. You end up cutting your leather. I'm going to attempt, since I'm on video here, to do this. I'm going to hold it back here. Let's go right there. I'm going to hold it back here and then go this way with my knife. Just the edge, the same angle that you had. Sharpening. Sorry, I had to pay attention to what I was doing. Keep the same angle. I like to go 20 times in reverse direction because you got two sides of your edge, right? So hold this side. It's a whole lot easier if you got it real taut. That's why I wanted to fasten this to a board some way. I just never have. I'm not into fine woodwork. Concrete form carpenter all my life, so I'm not delicate, but I can do it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. then you can really see that edge start to stand out. Oop, about messed up. About cut myself. Clean it off. And we're sharp. See, it don't take long. Now, one thing I just noticed, I will note, and I'll rinse this off. I got a sink full of dishes that I'm going to, that's why I done the video before my dishes. My wife be mad because I showed y'all dirty dishes, but who don't have dirty dishes with 3 kids? And I'm batching this weekend anyways. But one thing I noticed, just doing that, that's the first time I've ever done that flat like that. I doubt that I ever put this on a board because I could feel that edge going across. You heard it. I was hitting that board. I don't really like it. So by doing it like that, there is no board. You just hold it taut with your foot. Let me get rid of the knife so you see. Hold it taut with the foot, then run that knife's edge up it. Does the same thing because you're not looking for pressure at this point. You're really just looking to that micro edge there. So what I'll do is I'll wash this with soap and water and oil it with some vegetable oil. Now the knife I showed you, that's a stainless steel knife. That's my pocket knife that I carry every day. Since that's inside my pocket, I usually carry a stainless steel pocket knife. And this is a sheathed knife, a sheathed fixed blade knife. This is Damascus, high carbon. This will rust, just like this one. So you got to oil it too. And specifically, since I use oil on my chef's knives, I use the same vegetable oil on this. I just think it lasts a little longer. Plus, I have used, not this particular one, I just got it, but I have used, you've seen me do little cutting with a different type knife, but it's high carbon too. Anything if I cutting into food, I like to use food grade oil. Doesn't matter as much before you cook it as after, but it's still the same concept. But anyways, that's knives 101, I guess, and the way I treat them. I could have spent more time on it, but I'm happy with that edge. It's pretty sharp. Better cut open a package of bacon now. This has been cooking with cornbread. Looking thin.